Yes.
The previous inspector told us, don't worry about what's up, because we told him, hey, to get up to the top of the tree is too much challenge. We cannot do it. So he said, don't worry about it. Just cut it here, and then they will fall. They will dry and fall, and you can see that he was right.
Some of it did.
This was Martin. You know, Martin. He used to be in charge of this inspection.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
you'll meet him, I'm sure.
No, anyway.
So we
yeah.
cut all of those down. You see, and we did it for both trees. He told us he doesn't. They don't. The city doesn't want the ivy.
It's not
potas-
ivy,
the potas going into the street.
And we don't really want it in the trees either, because you see what's happening there. In another year or two, it's going to have the whole tree swallowed, and the tree's going to die.
Okay, so what do you want?
It's not like Spanish moss and stuff like that.
Okay.
That's symbiotic. This is an invasive vine that looks cute in baskets hanging from your porch.
Right.
You put them on the ground, and they just take
Okay,
off.
so what do you want to do?
You can go ahead and move to try and create a division at the trunk, like what somebody was referring to.
Yeah.
From my experience, these are epiphytic, and if it rains, they will continue to draw water and they will continue to grow. So at that point,
You have to cut it?
probably within the months, I can send my vendor over to trim these up a little,
Okay.
and I'll have them remove what we would refer to and use as some people don't like it because I try to get code compliance people to understand something about the word weed. They will come and tell a homeowner or resident that you can't have weeds in the right of way.
Right.
It's a generic term.
I know.
And I tell them, I said, you can't use that word because a weed to one person. I used to grow, I don't know if you know what Spanish needles are.
Yeah, sure.
I grew Spanish needles.
Right.
Nobody wants them in their yard.
Right.
Flower people that want butterflies love
and
Spanish needles.
Right.
You don't really want it all over your yard because it's all tag-alongs all over your plant. So the word weed, I try to keep them from ever using it. Undesirable or an invasive.
Right.
This is classified as an invasive.
Yeah.
It's actually on all the lists now as an invasive species.
Okay.
So I can tell my guy to come remove the
Okay.
invasives from the crown. That
Okay.
way it'll let the tree reestablish.
Oh, okay, great.
And
Okay, you
we'll do a
understand.
little bit of reduction pruning and
Okay,
clean out
yeah.
some of the dead wood and let them take off.
Okay.
If you all want to move, like I said, to whatever, and I tell people I don't like to be in the code side of it unless I have to.
I know.
If you want to create what I would call a demarcation point, hand high to separate the roots and leave the rest for our vendor.
No,
Yeah.
for the vendor. The vendor's going to
for
come.
the vendor.
The vendor's going to
create
come
a
and trim.
separation so you can show that you're trying to comply,
yes.
and that the city arborist is moving to remove the stuff out of the crown.
Fine.
Deal.
What about if it grows on the ground and away from the trees?
Again, talk to Celine. That's
Okay,
I don't want to
okay.
tell you something and
Yeah.
get you heading this way.